It's 5:30 a.m. in the middle of Almaty. It's an ungodly hour. Gonna be in a car a lot to go to the canyon that's a few hundred kilometers from here. If you followed my other videos, you know that I'm not a fan of joining tour groups, but for this one I looked it up. It's possible to do it by public transport or hitchhiking, but not all in one day. So this is why I'm doing it as a tour group. So hopefully it will be nice. These mountains in this canyon, they're really majestic. This is actually the biggest canyon in the world, if the US didn't exist. So actually it's the second biggest canyon in the world. It's really impressive, look at that. It's extremely beautiful. It was a bit of a drive here from Almaty, but it's definitely worth the detour. There's even a river here. Look at this beautiful river. That canyon in the background. So we now went to another location, and to be honest, it is extremely beautiful here, so it makes sense to stop here, but it would be nicer to be alone. So we made it to the part where we can walk to the lake. It's at 1,800 meters altitude here. It has been really warm all day, but now here it's really cold because of the altitude. So let's check out the lake. Good morning from Almaty in the city center in a park with a beautiful church. Today is my one day where I will actually see what it has to offer. Now I'm sure it has more to offer than just one day, but let's see what we can find. Been here for 2 nights already, but I haven't seen the city yet because yesterday I was to the canyon and the lake, which is hundreds of kilometers away from here. I already noticed there's a really good transportation system. It's also very clean. Yeah, it just seems like a very well working city. A very beautiful city too. So let's see if I'm indeed right about this. Let's explore Almaty. Now the entrance to this park says Park 28 Grattiecie imieni Panfilovce. Now I might have butchered that pronunciation because my Russian is not so good, especially when the letters are in a different font than I normally read when I'm just reading on my phone. I get confused sometimes, but what I did understand from this is that this park is named after the 28 heroes of Panfilov, which is a very famous war story from the Soviet Union, which Kazakhstan was a part of course. During World War II, the 28 strong soldiers of Panfilov almost single-handedly kept out the Germans from Moscow. To what extent that story is fully true is, let's say, debatable. Anyways, this park is named after them, which also explains why there's so many statues of war heroes here. Now let's go out of the park and check out the streets surrounding it, because from what I've heard, the city center of Almaty is quite walkable. So I'm just walking to my next destination. Now what do I see? Not a McDonald's, but an I'm This is just too intriguing for me. Is this like a fake McDonald's? They have like an Eim burger. They even have the Eim cafe. So let's check it out. I didn't have a burger because it's too early for that. I had some tuna sandwich and some mango ice cream, which was pretty good. I'm not an avid McDonald's goer, so I don't know if that's something that they sell everywhere in McDonald's, but I've never heard people about it. Anyways, when I came in, I was like, wow, this is really a perfect copy of McDonald's. And technically it isn't fake McDonald's. However, there's an article on the internet which said that they pulled out of Kazakhstan last year. It was just a real McDonald's, but then without the branding. So there is no Big Mac, just a big burger on the menu. The stuff on the menu is still the same as it was before, just without the branding. Interesting though. So I'm going to this cable car that's here in Almaty to go up to this point that's supposed to be really nice, with a really nice view of the whole city. But when I was in Korea, if you followed those videos, you will see that I got pretty sick and tired of the endless cable cars that they put everywhere. But in Kazakhstan, I haven't seen a single one yet, so I think I'm ready for another one, especially if it means having a really nice view from the top. I'm gonna walk there now. It's a little bit uphill. It's a little bit of a workout to walk this city, but it's still quite walkable. Almaty actually is the biggest city in Kazakhstan. In the city center, you don't really feel that. There are not that many people. There's like 2 million people in this city, which is a lot for Kazakhstan. And this city used to be the capital. Last time I checked, the capital is now Astana, which name changed a couple of times as well. But I'll get to that when I'm there, because I will be going there as well. Almaty has always historically been like the biggest city and the most active city as well. What I read on the sign here, this is actually a University of Agriculture. Really like a Soviet university with those emblems on the top. But really beautiful building, I have to say. I see that sign, Köktöbe. Next to it is a cable car sign, so I imagine that must be where I need to be. So let's go. This is kind of a combination of everything in my travels. Being alone and cable cars. Let's go in. Half left. We're going there. Honestly, it doesn't look like it's going extremely high. It's like, it looks like a little hill. The huge mountain range in the background is looking stunning. You can probably not see it on video from here, but whilst we're up there, you'll be able to see it. And also yesterday, when I went to the canyon and to the lake, you could also see these mountains. On the other side of the mountains is Kyrgyzstan. Since I've seen these mountains, my urge to go visit Kyrgyzstan has really increased. So maybe another time I will go to Kyrgyzstan and view these mountains from the other side. But for now, from here, it's also really stunning. So I end up in a tourist trap again. For example, I just saw the apple fountain. Number 7 on here. Really amazing. An apple and a fountain all at once, and that on top of a hill in Almaty. What more could you ask for? Another highlight here. You can go to Beatles monuments with Beatles music playing, and there are even people filming that from really close up because it's very interesting. Anyways, this place is a huge tourist trap. I hope the view will be nice. I think most people are like Russian or Kazakh tourists. Then there are some Indian ones, but not really Western ones. But the tourist trap level is high here. So that was the view of the city. It was okay. I was hoping to see the mountains, but no, not today. So you can't see anything. Well, you can see a little bit of the city. But I thought I was ready for another cable car after being sick of them. But no. I'm already done with it. The reason I came here was because when I went to the canyon and the lake, I met 2 people who both recommended this. And so therefore I was like, okay, let's go. But I should have known, people who go for tours, they like tours. And I don't like tours. So I should have realized that our tastes won't necessarily match. Anyways, you live and you learn, right? I have to say, it did get a little bit better now. To add it to the apple fountain, I found an oyster statue. So let's see if we can escape this place and find an actually nice view of the city without it being a tourist trap. It is a little bit of a walk downwards, which sucks because I bought a return ticket with the cable car, so I have to go up again. But I do think I managed to find a really nice viewing point without tourist traps. Let's check it out. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. So if you find yourself in Köktöbe, if you fell into the tourist trap, I would say it's worth to walk a bit downwards and have an actually nice view without a lot of random souvenir shops and random statues. Actually, the TV tower is also quite impressive. I'm actually completely alone here. I think that view was nice, but not phenomenal enough to warrant going all the way up here, because it's awkward to get here or expensive with the cable car. If you also feel very drawn to apple and oyster monuments, as well as overpriced restaurants and souvenir shops, then I would recommend you go here and walk downstairs to have the actually nice view. Have to go up all again to go back to the cable car. Alright, the new plan is to check out the metro, because I think the metro might be very beautiful and I'm into like Soviet architecture. The metro also cannot, almost by definition, be a tourist trap, because it's used by the millions of people living in Almaty. This really seems to be like a Soviet metro. Let's check it out. I'm excited for this. It reminds me of when I was in Russia, in Moscow. The station is absolutely huge. It's still a little bit like a Soviet station. Really nice, actually. Every station also has like own kind of theme. They're all a bit different. No, I'm actually quite impressed with this metro. It's quite nice. Let's see where we ended up now. So I just came around the corner and I definitely didn't expect to find this. It's one of those huge monuments. But to be honest, I do actually genuinely enjoy the big ones, because they're so big and majestic. Small ones are a bit too ridiculous for me. But look at that. So, for the final stop here in Almaty, I've come to a park, and not just any park. This park has an event going on. It's just the main reason that I came here, which is of course the Apple Fest. No, of course not. I had no idea the Apple Fest was going on, and I also don't have a clue what the Apple Fest is. It seems like it's not just Shymkent, where the main things to do as a tourist is visit the parks. I didn't find much else to do in Almaty, except for visiting the parks. I probably did it wrong. I only had one full day here. So let me know in the comments. Someone from Almaty or Kazakhstan sees this, they're probably gonna be mad. But anyways, I don't have time because tomorrow I'm going to China. Stay tuned for that video. Anyways, I'm here at the Park Pierwszego Prezydenta Republiki Kazakhstan. In other words, the park of the first president of the Republic of Kazakhstan. We should all know by now who that is. That is Nursultan Nazarbayev, also famous for having his quotes on every single monument in Shymkent, as you've seen in my last video. We've also learned that Almaty is somehow obsessed with apples. There must be something about apples in this place, because I'm again standing in front of a statue of an apple. Did apples come from Almaty? Is that what's going on? Do Kazakhs just really love apples? Anyways, there are really almost no people, so I'm afraid that it might be closed. Let's have a look. Now, lucky me, the gate's open. It's just one of those Kazakh parks with very few people. Seems like all the electricity went to the gate, because here there's almost no light, except for one that turns on and off. Okay, so there he was, the man, the first president, Nazarbayev. He even got his own statue here, with a special police station next to it, just to make sure that everyone gives it enough respect, I guess. A country full of statues, random statues, even apples. If you're naming a park to that president, you should also have a statue of him. That makes sense. I mean, it's just another nice and clean park, but the gate was the highlight. And the statue, of course, of Nazarbayev. Stay tuned for next video, where I will be going to China over land from Kazakhstan. So I will be going to the Xinjiang region. Now, if you only care about videos in Kazakhstan, lucky you, because there will be more videos of Kazakhstan. I will be attempting to go back from China into Kazakhstan through a different border that will hopefully be interesting. I still have to go to Astana, and I will also see some other places along the way coming back from China to Astana, which is very far from here. So I have a long way to go. Stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.